Welcome back, trackside, once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, we head across the pond and in to the homeland, that's right, Monza, on tap for race number 2 for the Masters of the Draft with the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing. We're going to jump right into things. Qualifying already behind us. Drivers making their way through 3 and 4. We're going to get set to fire things off quickly here tonight over 76 laps. How you doing? How you feeling? Out there in TV Land, race fans, hope you're ready for some great action from Europe here tonight with the Masters of the Draft and into the starting grid, and away we go. Green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Monza. A little quick on the action here tonight, coming in a little bit behind schedule. We do apologize. Some of the jet lag has got us behind on things here tonight, but out front showing the way, your pole sitter, Sean Boundy, who was up front last week at Daytona International Super Speedway. Look for him to be another quick ride here tonight from across the pond. Fast-paced racing action already single file at the front. These high banks here at Monza, very, very banked, steeper than what you'll see at Talladega. 2-3 wide down the front stretch. Gonna have to sort this out. You do not want to go side by side through the entry of these corners. You can see already Travis Gilbert loose at the front of the field, and as things unfold fastly, we're gonna go ahead and drop and Tommy scoring over there to the left-hand side of your screen. As you can already tell, over 2.5 miles in less than a minute. These drivers are absolutely flying out there on the track here tonight. There's our first 2-wide scenario through the corner, close there between Gilbert and Bundy. Tommy and scoring already over there to the left-hand side of your screen. Find your favorite driver and follow along here tonight with us from Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Love being back over here in Italy. Love being at Monza. An absolute great way for these drivers to get a feel for how our European drivers get used to oval track racing, and this is quite a monster to tackle here tonight. 76 laps, the official race distance. We'll see who makes it and who falls out early here tonight. It looks like we've already got a few retirements in the field. Jacob Drift chasing, challenging for the overall season championship. Not here tonight. That's going to put a big dent in his points battle, and it very well may wrap that season trophy up for Joe Wells. Wells fast as always. Where's the 3 here tonight? Inside of the top 10, sitting back in the 9th position, up 4 spots from where he qualified. Feel a bit strung out after you get behind Wells. There you can see already there's Darren Mack, the 59 machine, sitting in 10th man all alone on the track. Has himself 4 seconds to gain, 3 seconds to give up. Riding solo here at Monza is the 59 of Mac Picklesheimer right here. In the same sort of situation, the Altel Dodge a little bit off pace here tonight. We'll see if he can't run the front of this field down. Second pack back here. Let's go with the 54 Lowe's machine out there on the track doing justice to the team. Sam Taylor right here, James Houston, Dakota Bailey off pace here tonight as well. Bailey, one of the drivers we're accustomed to seeing at the front, but not here tonight. He's going to stop on pit road, or start from pit road, I should say. Put himself well behind this field, and he very well may end up off of the lead lap. Meanwhile, at the front, things shaking up a little bit. The Napa Auto Parts number 94 closes in on the tail end of Gilbert, heading into turn number 1. We'll stack them up through the corner. Andrew Moore right there. Scott Wise in 4th with William Britton in 5th. And here we go. We're going to have a little bit of trivia for the fans in TV land here tonight. What is Monza really famous for? Come on, if you know racing, you gotta know this. Still stacking them off front of the field. Your top 5 all nose to tail. Big wiggle off the corner. Big wiggle off of 2. I believe that was the 64 of William Britton. Yes, it was Britton with a bit of a moment. Scott Wise able to hold, serve, and keep himself in line. Let yet another Lowe's livery at the front of this field. Massive, monstrous oval. As we've already mentioned, over 2.5 miles of concrete. These drivers to race it out for checkered flag. Number 2 here in the final 4-week mini-season drivers chasing after not just a Gen 4 championship, but an overall championship as well. Joe Wells came into tonight's race sitting just about 34 points ahead of the Drift King, Jacob Drift, who is down and out of tonight's race early, sitting on pit road. Tough break here tonight for Jacob Drift. Let's go to Bailey. Also going to go ahead and enter pit road. Could this be an early stop here tonight? Could it be an unscheduled stop? We're going to keep our eye down there on pit road for the time being, as the front of the field slowly starts to bring themselves back together. You see that Monster Energy number 38 machine of Gregory Thurlow making his way into the mix up through the pincher, gaining the most position so far here tonight. Let's take a look at that number 3 machine. There you can see Joe Wells slowly reeling in the front, slowly getting there, and has a huge draft right now. Over 220 miles an hour, heading down the front stretch and into turn number 1. We've got a fast-paced breakaway at the front right here from Monza. And we're going to drop a little knowledge on you throughout tonight's race. We'll see if you can pick up on it. We'll see if you are able to understand. But here, the Autodromo Nacional Monza. Orgoglio d'Italia, if you will. If you know, you know. If you got to, rewind it. And we got a caution. Trouble on the track. Trouble on the track. We're going to go back. I believe Dakota Bailey has had some problems. Let's go back and check the replay. Let's see what happened with the 24. Oh, yeah, and just, oh my God. Somebody check on Bailey. That is, wow. That's a massive hit. We're going to take one more look at it here. He's absolutely going to crush this thing a little loose on the grass and into the Armco barrier, back across the track into the other one, and that's going to be big-time trouble, big-time damage as we head back out front with new race leader Al Lyken's going to catch the tail end of the pace car, bring us back to a crawl. Did you get it? Do you know what I said? That's all I want to know out there in TV land. Rewind it if you got to, but we're under caution once again here. Lap number 12, still a long way to go, still a long night ahead of these drivers. A handful of them already with trouble, already listed multiple laps down. There you can see Richard Smith 10 laps down, Jacob Drift 9 laps down, Bailey get for multiple laps down. If he can even continue, and it looks like they're pushing that DuPont. Number 24 right behind the wall. His day is done. So did you get it? Do you know what I said? Orgoglio d'Italia. Do you got it? Come on, you can get it. We'll give you another opportunity a little bit later on throughout this race. We're going to drop some of that Italian knowledge on you. If you know, you know. And if you know David the Cave, you know that's where my roots are. And absolutely love this track. Absolutely love the place. Do have, I believe, one or two drivers staying out on the track. There's Darren Mack heading down pit road. Richard Smith going to stay out behind the pace car as Jacob Drift gets one of his many laps back. He's going to need quite a bit of trouble here tonight to close in on those race leaders to pick up positions. But a fast track race here tonight came in a little bit late. Some of the broadcasting functions weren't quite plugged in the proper ways here in the production booth here tonight, so we do apologize about the quick rush into tonight's race. The flyover, absolutely phenomenal by the Italian Air Force. Absolute huge tip of the cap to all of the servicemen and women over here in Italy. To all the fans, friends, and family that joined us here tonight for keeping track of how things are going when we head across the Pine Pond. Big tip of the cap to each and every one of you as well. So here we are. 20 drivers to the starting grid tonight. Lap number 13 behind the pace car. We are down to only 17 drivers on the track. Only 15 remain on the lead lap. We've seen drivers break away at the front. We've seen others reel them back in. The speeds over 225 miles an hour. I can't stress that speed enough to you. 225 miles an hour. You're lucky if you can get in your car and get that thing up to 125, 140 out there on the interstates. Put an extra 100 miles an hour on that and tell me if you can handle the racing here at Monza. We're going to give you a little bit of perspective of how this track feels throughout tonight's race. Got a handful of drivers out there with onboard camera shots, so we do appreciate each and every one of the teams for working with us. Quick, high stakes pace to get some of these cameras attached, but we do want to send a shout out to each and every one of the drivers and teams that allowed us to do so. We're going to get some great action shots throughout the course of tonight's race, but for now, let's go back behind that pace car as we go side by side. Once again, waiting to go back. Green flag racing. Al Likens and Andrew Moore going to make up the front row. Joel Sean Bundy back in row number 2. Landon Lacey, Scott Wise, row 3. Row 4 tonight. On the restart, Gregory Thurlow and Sam Taylor, Zach Lannon, and newcomer James Hudson get to round out your top 10. Back off of turn number 4, the pace car going to make that left-hand turn. Joshua Norwood going to bring the iRacing pace car back down pit lane. Are we going to set these drivers off once again? Waiting to nail the loud pedal into the restart zone. We roll and away we go. Green flag flies for the second time here tonight from Monza as the field heads back into turn number one, side by side, jockeying for position. There's Wells going to drop down to the bottom of the racetrack. Andrew Moore stuck on the high side, but that Golf Fuel 77 machine will prevail with Wise on the corner panel. Set sail and gap the field off of two. Heck of a job there by Moore. Two, three wide at the front of the field, three wide at Monza will not work. They'll sort it out. By the time they get to turn one, in trouble on the track, Scott Wise going to go around right in front of a handful of drivers. That's going to be some big trouble. We've got drivers through the grass. We've got all sorts of things happening here. Let's go back on board here. Check out, see what happened to bring out our next caution flag of the night. Scott Wise going to have some issues. Let's go back, check the replay. Loose through the corner, up and around. More contact there. You can see another driver getting punted out the way. My goodness, a lot going on here on lap number 16. We'll check it out one more time. Lacey, big trouble. Picklesheimer, big trouble as well. So right after our first caution, quick caution once again. Cautions breed cautions, the old moniker in saying and holding true, holding serve. Here tonight, we're going to get a caution real quick. Lap number one after the restart. We've got our second caution of the night here at Monza. Handful of takers down pit road. Handful of drivers going to be caught up involved in this one. Landon Lacey down pit road. Scott Wise going to have to come down pit road. Bundy in Moore stay out on the track. A handful of drivers from the back going to stay out as well. Richard Smith looking to get a lucky dog or a wave around, but it's not going to happen with your race leader staying out on the track. Back to the point once again behind the wheel of that Pepsi machine. Sean Bundy going to take the top spot. Handful of drivers remaining on pit road. Long fixes to try to massage the fenders back into some sort of racing shape, of racing form. Aerodynamics going to be absolutely huge here tonight from Autodromo Nazionale Monza, the Monza Grand Prix for the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing's Masters of the Draft. The draft here tonight, absolute premium. We're seeing speeds upwards of 110 miles an hour from solo machines. But these drivers pushing 220, 225 in the draft. If you've got some damage, you got some wrinkled fenders, you're going to find yourself having quite a hard time maintaining that pace, utilizing that toe, the slipstream, as it's called over here across the pond. More so for our European-friendly viewers out there. The slipstreams here at this track with these cars is absolutely huge. And as the field heads through 3 and 4, these drivers getting set to go back to the loud pedal. Stacked up at the front, side by side for your top 8 positions. You can see there that familiar Budweiser red machine begins the long train of cars, the single file. Pace car ready to duck in. And we're back. Green flag racing once again here at Monza, just about at the halfway point. We told you it was going to be fast-paced racing action. These drivers 2.5 miles in less than 50 seconds. Absolutely ripping the concrete up here tonight from Monza in the Monza Grand Prix. It's the first and only race outside of the U.S. borders here for the Masters of the Draft. Who will be crowned the European King? Who will walk away with the checkered flag for the moment? Sean Brumby sitting out front. Landon Lacey in the catbird seat. That 54 Lowe's machine has been fast all night. Let's not count out Andrew Moore, who has made some moves to get to the front. Joe Wells sliding backwards a little bit. Now sitting in a little bit of contact with that barrier on the high side. And oh man, Bundy gonna have himself some big trouble. Side by side and clipped. Ripped on the lip and around they go. We're going to keep it green flag racing after the contact with the outside. Not even a safer barrier that Armco guard railing. And there you can see heavy, substantial damage on the 38 Monster Energy machine of Gregory Thurlow. He's going to drop all the way through the field, all the way back now to 14th. Meanwhile, the race is on at the front. Top 3 breakaway as they head back to 1. Crazy close racing action here. Let's go on board. What do you say we take a look on board at the man putting in work behind the wheels? And that University of Kentucky Wildcats helmet. Look at him working the wheels, sawing to the left. You can hear the bottom of the car scraping through these corners, man. These guys giving everything they got for every bit of aerodynamic advantage stacked up. 1, 2, 3 across the line. Lap number 23 goes on the board. So after a handful of laps completed from the restart, we'll drop that time of scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen. You can find and follow along with your favorite driver in the field here tonight. 3 now, make it a 4-car breakaway. Sam Taylor has been able to reel these drivers in the front in just a little bit, with the fastest lap of the race turned in last time around, 43:13. Think about that. 43 seconds to go, 2.5 miles. Absolutely unbelievable speeds out of these machines. There you can see Likens look to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll hunt the front and he'll grab it through the center of 1 and 2. Well, the field still pretty much stacked up. Let's go back to the second battle here at Monza. Another 4-car battle. There with Travis Gilbert, Joe Wells sitting at second in line, Zach Lanen and Gregory Thurlow finishing out this second pack of 4 drivers, just about 5 seconds back from your race leader, so a bit of a gap. These 4 drivers going to have to work the wheel and work together to try to run the front of this field down, and they're doing so in a mighty big pace down the backstretch. Now taking a look back from that 74 of Zach Lane and Gregory Thompson all over him at that Budweiser King of Beers Monte Carlo. We told you some great camera shots all throughout this field here tonight. We're going to stack it up at the front. Race leaders beginning to reel in lap traffic. This is going to be bad. Or I believe that is going to be Richard Smith, the 30. No, that's going to be the 34 machine, Sean Bundy. After the trouble, Bundy staying out on track, just trying to limp his way around. And this is how quickly the field has caught him. Lap number 26 on the board. 27 when we cross the line. This next time by stacking up the race leaders at the front, looking for a way around Bundy. Big wiggles off of 4. That's going to allow the 88 Sam Taylor to go to the point. New race leader once again here at the Monza Grand Prix. Just 10 laps away from the halfway point. Quick action here tonight. 3 quick cautions, and we have blazed a trail. Taylor absolutely dominating out there out front, getting the clean air on the nose of the car, but look for more. And Likens to close in quickly. Landon Lacey a little bit off pace. You see him just outside of the frames, coming in right there. He'll get a bit of a toe off of the lap car. Will that be enough to slingshot him back to the front and battle with your top 3? We'll find out as we continue this green flag run. Back in the pack again we'll go with Zach Lanen, taking a look now on board with Lanen as he tries to run down Joe Wells. And we've got trouble on the track, Scott-wise with issues. Let's go back, let's check our little rescue towing replay here from Monza. You can see Wise going through the corner, drifts up the track just a little bit, and he's going to head right to pit. Oh, heading to pit road, misjudging it, and big lick, pancaking the driver's side of the car. And heading directly to pit road. That's going to do it. We're going to be back under caution for the third time here tonight. That's going to open up pit road. How many takers do we have this time around? We're going to find out. We're going to let these drivers sort it out. But first, we're going to break for a brief commercial break. Pay a few of the sponsor bills. You know how that goes. Got to keep the lights on. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be back right here live from Monza.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
And back trackside here from Monza. Race number 2 for the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing's Masters of the Draft 4-week Gen 4 Mini Cup season coming into tonight's race. Last week's race winner, Daryl Johnson, not in the field. We will not see back-to-back visits to victory lane. That's going to bust the door wide open. Dakota Bailey coming into tonight's race, sitting just 9 points back. Big trouble for Bailey. He's going to walk away with minimal points here tonight. Dylan Picklesheimer sitting in 5th for the time being, also 9 points out of that Gen 4 top spot, looking to walk away from the track here tonight with a little momentum on his side heading into the final 2 weeks. We'll see if Picklesheimer can continue to seal the deal, while Joe Wells looks to seal the championship for the overall season coming into tonight's race. 34 points ahead of Jacob Drift, but with Drift already out of tonight's race, it may be all but final little bit of math to decide things early here in the season. Could we see an overall champion crowned? And here we are off of 4. Torniamo a correre di Monza. Once again, the Monza Grand Prix as we go back. Green flag racing once again here from Monza. Side by side, Morin Likens ready to roll on the gas, and green flag flies once again here from Monza. We're able to shake loose on the restart, jump out to a 2-car length advantage. Not quite sure that's the best strategy in the world, but here, right at Monza, we're not seeing those huge packs that we're so accustomed to seeing when we go super speedway racing here at Monza. This monster lends its hand to a little more methodical approach. You gotta be a little more, should we say, conservative. You may not want to show your Forza too early in the race. You may want to keep some of that in your back pocket for a little later on. Come on strong and snatch a checkered flag. Joe Wells says he ain't waiting around for nobody. Wells moves to second. Back down through 3 and 4. We're going to go ahead and drop the timing and scoring pack to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you follow along and find your favorite driver in the field here tonight, as we are just a handful of laps away from that halfway point. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Drop them that thumbs up. Let them know you enjoy the racing action to here tonight and each and every Thursday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether we're stateside or across the pond, we've got all your adrenaline action for you each and every Thursday night right here with the Masters of the Draft. So again, join us in that push for 4,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers the thumbs up, click subscribe, and as always, smash that bell over there on the right-hand side of your screen. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. But these drivers putting on an absolute show at the front of this field. Al Likens going to become our newest race leader. Back to the point once again. He's got a hot, heavy battle right behind him. Andrew Moore right there, all over him. We're going to take a look on board here with a handful of drivers in the front of this field. There's Gilbert squeaking by at the front. Man, that vet to track number 2, shot out of a cannon. We get a shot out of a cannon. You can see sparks flying as the right side of the car just unable to really maintain. Oh my God, did you see that closing right? Unable to maintain the spring difference. Car really loading on that right side through these high-banked, high-speed corners here, upsetting the cars. You can see right here a handful of these bumps. The tail ends of these Gen 4 cars just absolutely out of the track. A lot going on here. Breathing the gas is that number 77 machine. We're going to move back 3 cars. Go on board now with the 13 Lowe's machine of Landon Lacey. And fortunately, you can find all the tools you need to fix up one of these machines right there at Lowe's, your home for home improvement. We really don't know their slogan, so we're just going to go with the home of home improvement and call it a wrap and move on from that. The all-tail Dodge in front of him. Dylan Picklesheimer maintaining good pace here. Tail end of the race car all over the racetrack. Still some fast times being shown here tonight. Sam Taylor going to round out this 7-car breakaway at the front. Well, we've dropped a little bit of our Italian knowledge and language on you. Were you able to pick up any of it? Did you know what we were saying? If not, maybe Google Translate or something can help you out a little bit later on when you're watching it back. 3 wide action once again at the front. Big trouble as the Napa machine issues drifting on the bottom of the racetrack. Man, the Likens was almost gone on a ride. Somehow able to corral the car. Man, what a moment. Big time moment at the front of the field. We're going to jump around a little bit. What do you say? Let's go back here. Scott Wise trying to close in with a handful of drivers. They've got a lot of distance to make up with not a lot of time. Just about 37 laps remain here in the Monza Grand Prix. Still stacked up at the front of the field. Your top 7 continue to fight it out. Joe Wells right here re-emerging on the scene. 4th driver in line trying to close in on Picklesheimer, who sits in 3rd. The Likens right behind. Landon Lacey sitting in 6th. And we've got trouble. Trouble on the track once again here tonight. Let's see if we've got that one. Gentlemen, do you got something over there for me? It looks like they do. Got the thumbs up. Let's go check the replay. And it looks like the driver just super loose, out of control, heavy contact with the driver's side, and he's going to pull to a stop, bring out our latest caution of the night. As we go under caution number 4, front of the field, Travis Gilbert will bring us back behind the pace car. We're going to have less than 35 laps. When we go back, green flag racing drivers should be hitting pit road for what would be the final time of the race. Pit road is indeed open this time around, so will the entire field come down? How many laps is that going to allow some of these drivers to get back as well? Looks like Scott Wise, in order to get himself one of his laps back. You can see that throwback Lowe's 31 machine out there on the track. Jacob Drift also looking to get one of his multiple laps back as well. And as we find ourselves under caution once again here tonight, you want to take a look at Jacob Drift. We talked about him being in contention for that overall season championship. Has had a terrible go at it so far here tonight. Just a rough go. Still listed over 5 laps down at this point in time in the race. But this is what championships are made of. Finding a way to push through the adversity, to persevere through your problems, to pick up the pieces, get your elbows up, keep your head down and just keep moving forward. Jacob Drift could potentially pick up a handful of spots, and with a long way still to go, if something happens to Wells, Drift will be right back in this championship picture. So as we write them off a little bit early here tonight, things looking like they may start beginning to swing. I don't want to say swing to the good side because he's still got a lot of ground to make up, but they're looking a little different here tonight for Drift. We'll see if he's going to be able to break in to that top 15, possibly a top 10. Will he be able to get it done? Gonna need a lot of help to get it done. But there's still a possibility. Over 30 laps of racing remain. We'll see the one to go this time around through 3 and 4, and drivers will reset, re-rack, and restart. Once again here from Monza. Been an amazing journey throughout this season. This is our 5th week of mini-season championship racing. You heard it right. 5th week of championship racing. 5 4-week seasons across many different machines to determine who is indeed the master of the draft. We've had 4 different mini-season champion winners. Nobody has been able to claim themselves as the king or the outright king so far this season. We've seen some dominating 4-week runs. Dakota Bailey with one of those historic, memorable runs, winning 3 out of 4 weeks. I believe that was back in the Gen 6 machines, our second 4-week mini-season here with the Masters of the Draft. So if you're one of the drivers out there watching, maybe you've heard about it from your friends here on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator. If you want to get down on the action, you want to get in on this for next season, look them up. You can find them right there in the league directory section of iRacing.com. National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing, the NASCVR. Great racing, great drivers, and we're going to have a great season number 2 coming up here in just a handful of weeks. We still got this one to finish out, though, as we get set to restart him once again in front of the field. Travis Gilbert will bring us to the green flag. Andrew Moore just to his outside. Pickle Summer and Bounty back in row 2 with Likens and Wells. In row 3, Landon Lacey and Sam Taylor, Zach Lannon, and Gregory Thurlow round out your top 10. Pace car in. We're ready to roll. Once again here from Monza Field into the restart zone. And green flag flies once again live here from Monza. Stacked up at the front, no clear advantage for anybody topside. Going to prevail for just a moment. And once again, high side hustling. The 77 Golf. Fuel. Dodge. At the front of the field, gonna lay the power down, work his way around right back to the point once again. Familiar man at the front. Can Moore keep the field at bay? Here comes a move from Gilbert. He's down on the apron. That is not where you want to be. He's going to slide up the racetrack right in front of a handful of drivers. We're going to stack them up here. 6th, 7th, and 8th on the speedway. Big moment here after the restart. No, the 59's going to go around. The 59 going to go around. Darren Mack going to have a big problem. drivers stepping away from the field just a little bit. We're going to jump around. Let's grab some different camera angles if we can. There you can see heading off of 2, down the back stretch, top 2 stepping away. More Bundy separating themselves from the field. Big moment there from Gilbert on the restart coming off of turn number 2. Big slides through the corner. Stacked the field up, separated a handful of these drivers, but now things starting to shake themselves out. Drivers beginning to settle in and catch some of that draft. The slipstream there, you can see 54 machine making his way around. He's going to grab that position back once again. Likens moves to 3rd. Just under 30 laps remaining this next time around. Field going across that famous tunnel, that famous bridge, crossing over to the infield. Big issues on the front stretch. Oh boy, 2, 3, 4 wide for a moment here at Monza. Boys, this is not F1. You cannot fit that many of these heavy tin tops in through these corners. They're going to figure out a way to get it done. Figure out a way to break into that 42-second mark. Is the 88 of Sam Taylor. Let's take a look at the Budweiser number 88 machine as he looks to the inside of Travis Gilbert back into 3. So we talked about a handful of our onboard camera shots. Let's go to another great one right here, just placed on the hood, looking back at the man putting in work behind the wheel in his office, wearing that Air Jordan sponsorship. Sam Taylor now sitting in 4th. William Britton a little bit behind the pace. The Cannabis Man looking good here, and Wells with issues. Joe Wells has issues. Let's jump back. What happened with Wells? Wells with issues, and he is dropping off the pace and dropping quickly. While we try to figure out what happened here with Joe Wells, we've been informed Jacob drift off the track and back to the hauler. His day is done, and he very well may see his championship slip away right here tonight in the Monza Grand Prix. Joe Wells needs to finish inside of the top 5 to secure the championship here tonight. Will that number 3 be able to do it? Still a long way to go. Let's head back to the front. Andrew Moore, he takes control of the race lead once again. Big look to the bottom goes the 34 of Bundy, hunting the front once again, and there it is, showing some strength at the bottom of the racetrack. He'll grab that top spot back once again. You can just see how unsettled these machines truly are. A lot of wiggling all through this field. It's not just the drivers in the back. It's not just the driver stuck mid-pack here. I mean, it's from the front car all the way through your top 8. 21 laps to go. We see caution number 5 fly here. A lot of action on the track. Side-by-side racing action. Wells into the guardrail. Into the 2 of Gilbert. They're going to sort that out. Darren Mack has issues. Brings out caution number 5. We'll head back behind the pace car. And we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Head back trackside for the finishing of tonight's Monza Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside as promised here from Monza. Less than 20 laps remaining. We'll see the green flag fly with 17 to go. Twenty drivers took to the starting grid here tonight. We have got 17 still remaining on the track, but only 11 left on the lead lap. You can see a handful of drivers going down to fix some final few moments of damage, trying to massage those fenders out just a little bit more, see if they can pick up a position or two by the end of tonight's race. But it's going to be a short-lived run. Right, these guys absolutely on fire here tonight. An amazing show of talent, an amazing show of ability to be able to control these cars. I know what you're thinking, man, Dave, they've had 5 cautions here tonight. How much control they got? I'm telling you, if you ain't been to this over right here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, you have no idea how tough these corners truly are. Very narrow. you are traveling at a rate of speed higher than any super speedway track that we hit on the state side. Then you got to add in the characteristics, the bumps through these corners. A lot of odds stacked against these drivers here tonight, but putting on quite a bit of a show, in my opinion. Speaking of putting on a show, how about that man? Second row. Inside lane for the restart. Joe Wells, even after the contact, able to come out of pit road with that third position. So look for Wells to try to slingshot his way to the front. Norwood gonna bring the pace car back down pit road, and we are ready to roll once again, just past the start finish line into the restart zone, and green flag flies once again here from Monza. Great jump on the field for Bundy. Picklesheimer able to pick up second. Wells gonna keep third. Gilbert right there in fourth. Single file racing at the front of this field. All 11 drivers stacked up single file. You can see those big runs looking to get around that 34. And Picklesheimer for the first time. Dylan Picklesheimer going to go to the front of the field, lead them over the bridge and back. Through 3 and 4 for the first time. Will he be able to lead them across the line? Get that? Oh, official lap land and contact. Contact between, I believe that may have been William Britton. William Britton, 64 cent for a ride off the nose of another machine coming out of turn number 4. Very treacherous territory coming out of 4. That's going to break up the field at the front. It is a 5-car breakaway with Picklesheimer showing the way. Joe Wells going to drop to the bottom with help from Gilbert. Back in through the corner for the first time here tonight. Joe Wells goes to the point. Your overall point series leader leads for the first time here tonight from Monza. And it's not about leading the most laps, it's about leading the last one. Wells right here in contention. Picklesheimer back to third. Gilbert up the front once again, powering around the outside. He'll take that top spot away. So who you got? Who you picking? Man, this is, we like to say super speedway racing, a little bit of a crapshoot, right? We like to talk about being there at the end. Right, that's the biggest thing. Being there at the end. We got a handful of drivers right here, all over each other for the moment. You can see that big bump going into turn number 1. You sort of pressed a little bit of a hill and drop back down into turn 1, upsetting the tail ends of these Gen 4 machines quite a bit. Handful of guys able to corral the car a little bit easier, and a handful of trouble for some more out there are good. Buddy Jacob Trent outside of the car. Check in with us over on the chat. How you doing, Jacob? Tough break here tonight. Can't win them all, but we expect you to be strong next week as you watch your fellow competitors continue on to here tonight. 13 laps remaining. Gilbert at the front. Picklesheimer digging Joe Wells with issues again into the barrier. Once again, that's going to cost him a handful of positions, and he's going to fall back out to that final spot inside of the top 5. And how about Scott Wise, the man sitting in 4th, man, turning his night around. Wise, at one point in time, was around on the track, and here it is, almost 10 laps remaining, and he is right here in the mix. This time we're going to look to the inside. Will we see anybody follow? Looks like Joe Wells wants to push the issue just a little bit. He'll take a look to the inside of Wise as Wise goes up the racetrack, gives up a little bit of speed, a little bit of ground, and how about the move by that Lowe's machine? Gonna grab that second spot away. Move Landon Lacey near the front, man. Lacey shot out of a cannon right there. Listed as the 13, but got the 54 on the side of that car. An amazing job so far here at the front. How about that all-town number 12? And never count Pinkle Slimer out. He's always in the mix, and we got some more trouble in the back. Driver on the apron coming right up the track and in front. We've got drivers around Scott Wise backwards on the front stretch. This is going to give us one heck of a finish. We're just going to outright say it. This is going to be a crazy finish, and we're about to see one hell of a race. So with the final few laps of tonight's race upon us, most of the field checking out, heading down pit road. Just a few of your front runners electing to stay out. Surprisingly, this man right here, no real benefit for Wells in staying out here. He's already led a lap officially, already got a point for that. No stage end right here with 10 laps remaining. So an interesting move here for Wells to try to stay out front, maybe trying to steal a race win. But with 10 laps to go, I mean, you're going to be fighting off the field pretty heavily. And when I say fighting off the field, I mean it's going to be a mighty fight. We're talking about something along the lines of the 300. If you know Spartans, that nature, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's going to be an absolute. It's going to be almost impossible, in my opinion, to hold back this many hungry drivers, or this many potential race winners. I mean, let's look at your top 5. Only 2 previous race winners inside of your top 5. Unbelievable. Who would have thought that we would be this far into the season? A 20-week full season. We are on week 18. And we have still got a ton of drivers that have yet to get to victory lane. We have only got a handful that have been to victory lane. So these checkered flags are not handed out all willy-nilly, if you will. You gotta earn your keep. Be handy with the steel inside of that machine with your hands on the wheel. You've got to regulate out there if you're going to walk away with a race win. And good Wells' strategy come into play here. We're going to have 8 laps to go when we see this green flag fly once again. So, I don't know, race fans. If I had to pick one, I don't know. I think I like Gilbert. I mean, that to track number 2 machine, he's been ready to make a move all night long. He has not really just sat in line. When he's had an opportunity, he has pounced on it. And here he is. With only 8 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. Gilbert will restart. 3rd in line. Outside row. Will he be able to get a good enough restart? Will we see this thing carry out under green flag conditions to the end of tonight's Monza Grand Prix right here with the Masters of the Draft, brought to you by the U.S. Veterans Pole Award, as well as Little Rescue Towing Saving Lap Machines. 1 caution at a time. Big shout out as well to all of our fellow sponsors: Beef Jerky Unlimited, Dale Earnhardt, Chevrolet, How to Work RP on 5M, as well as Butt Kicker. We can never forget about basically a brother in arms and a sponsor that we have across many different leagues and series. Butt Kicker is always there if you're looking for what you've been missing. The future is feeling. With Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing. A little slip and trip over the tongue. We'll see if any of these guys slip and trip on the loud pedal here, ready to lay it down and burn these final gallons of fuel. Will we get it done under green flag conditions? We're going to find out here in a moment. To the line we roll, and away we go. Green flag flies once again here from Monza. Drivers pushing the limits now with just 8 laps to go. Side by side through 1 and 2 this time. Single file the majority of the restarts, but with the time upon us to crown a king here tonight, everybody on it, pushing the limits of the grip. You can see the left side tires in the grass as Sam Taylor goes back to the point. Sam Taylor in that 88 Budweiser machine back to the point once again. Landon Lacey sitting in second now with Travis Gilbert putting that vent to track number 2. Back inside of your top 3 across the line. We've got 15 miles of racing remaining here tonight from Monza. Contact at the front. Contact between Gilbert and Taylor. They're able to keep it out of the wall and keep it heading in the right direction. Gilbert will prevail for the moment down the back stretch. Big run from the field behind, covering up that inside run. Look at the methodical move by that number 2. Picklesheimer a little out of shape, and we got trouble. Trouble on the track, trouble behind us. Gregory Thurlow going to have some trouble coming out of turn number 2 and down the back stretch, and just like that, we are going to go back under caution here tonight. Caution number 7 flies here at Monza, and this is going to give us a 2-lap shootout, maybe a 3-lap shootout. We're going to see how the race officials call this one, but very close to being an unofficial green-white checkered attempt. Man, things gonna get busy, things gonna get good. We're gonna take our last commercial break before we stay here live. No matter what happens, don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And back trackside right here from Monza as we bring the field out of turns 1 and 2. Ready to drop the green flag once again for what will be our final 3 laps here tonight from Monza. Grazie per esserti unito a noi. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. I told you we were going to drop some Italian on you throughout tonight's race. Grazie, grazie, grazie for joining us here tonight, giving you a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of racing action, and we are just around the corner. Who will be able to claim the crown here tonight? Who still got enough under the hood to get the job done? Nerves of steel are gonna be needed front of this field. Familiar drivers: Gilbert, Taylor, Wells, Lacey, Moore, Picklesheimer, Likens, Helanen, Wise, and Thurlow round out your top 10 as we head off of turn number 4 back on the front stretch again. Norwood to pit road, and we're set to roll once again here from Monza. Wait for it, and away we go on the loud pedal, and green flag flies with 3 to go. Gilbert with a good start. Sam Taylor gonna fall in line there. You can see now Landon Lacey sitting at 3rd. Joe Wells gonna fall back to 4th. Picklesheimer gonna pick up position on Moore. Moore looking back to the inside, not gonna quite close that lane off. Down to the bottom, heading into 3. Picklesheimer looks for a position. We're going to drop the timing and scoring here as we come back across the stripe. This time by we'll have popsicle sticks on display for your race leader. Just 2 to go here from Monza. These drivers putting on an absolute show, an absolute clinic of drafting class here from Monza. Wise looking to go 3 wide, contact, trouble, and caution. Caution flag will fly. Travis Gilbert just needed a little bit more, but unable to get back to the stripe. We're going to re-rack them for one. A more restart here tonight in the Monza Grand Prix from the Autodromo Nacional de Monza. So back under caution, once again, these drivers going to find it out for what will be 2 more laps. And again, man, Gilbert, man, he had this thing sewed up, in my opinion. You know, that was my pick, so of course I want him to sew it up and get the job done. Make me look a little smart. Whereas I usually have a little bit of a trip up and tend to make myself look dumb throughout the course of the night with slips of the tongues and fumbling of the words. But tonight, an absolute all-star race by these all-star drivers, some of the best in the business, doing it right here each and every Thursday night with the Masters of the Draft. Well, we asked you out in TV land under our last caution who you had, who your favorite driver was to win tonight's race. We let our cat out of the bag. We went ahead and said, you know, if the broadcaster curse strikes him, well, he can blame us for it a little bit later. A little bit of off-roading there under caution. You can see Joe Wells cutting the grass a little bit. I don't think Monza needs to worry about that. I think they got enough landscapers to ensure the beauty of this track. This is absolutely one of the prides of Italy. Monza, just an absolute landmark. I would say probably just as famous as a leaning tower of Pisa, or maybe the Roman Colosseum, the canals of Venice. This is right there on that list, and if you're a race enthusiast, this track right here has got to be on your top 5. I mean, I can think of some other historic tracks out there that you may want to visit. You know, you got Monaco, an amazing track, but unfortunately not a track you could visit any point in time of the year, as it is a circuit ran on the streets of Monaco. But true dedicated all-year tracks, this has got to be one of them. I believe Spa-Francorchamps would be another one for those of you that are unfamiliar with Formula One. That is Spa. Just to make it simple, another one of those great tracks. Right here, Monza, of course, top of the list for myself. You've got places like Silverstone, as well the British Grand Prix, one of those staples. Even over here stateside, if we're talking about Formula One tracks, you know, Circuit of, not Circuit of Americas, I mean, just some amazing tracks across the pond. Would love to see a little more oval racing going on, but it is what it is. We're the NASCAR boys. We're the big, heavy 10 tops. This is where the big boys come to play. And we'll see which one of these big boys got his big boy boots on and ready to scrap it out to the end. And here we go, coming to the line this time by. We will have popsicle sticks on display immediately. We're going to go right into a green, white, checkered finish. It's the first of possible 2 green, white, checkered finishes. Will we see it finish out this time around? Our good buddy Joshua Noor 1 down and away. Can the Venta track number 2 of Travis Gilbert finish this thing off? Picklesheimer fast to his outside. Taylor and Wells in row 2, and we're on the gas, and green flag flies once again. And look at Picklesheimer flex his muscle, showing a little bit of forza on the outside. He'll take that top spot away with 2 laps to go. Let's drop the timing scoring off of turn number 2. Fast track down the back stretch. Wells all over the tail end of the 2. Picklesheimer goes to the bottom to block the run. Here comes that 2 to the top. Scott Wise making a look to the inside. Wise going to take that 3rd position away, but not going to be able to get to 2nd. Back off of 4, into the wall goes Picklesheimer. Picklesheimer into the wall and into Gilbert. Down pit road, and we've got a caution. We will not finish this thing off just yet. Caution flag will fly. I mean, my goodness. Just about died right there. No, I'm just kidding. Caution flag will fly off of turn number 4. Trouble at the front with your race leaders, Dylan Picklesheimer and Travis Gilbert. Now head to the rear. So now with a handful of drivers that were the top of the class, front of the field, with late race trouble, heading to the rear. Where's this leave the rest? Scott Wise will now take control of the race. Joe Wells going to restart just to his outside. Andrew Moore, Landon Lacey, both of those drivers have been fast. Both of those drivers have been at the front of the field. Will they make a move to get to the top spot? There's a lot on the line with a short amount of time. But we're going to stay true to ourselves. He may end up falling a lap down, though, late in the going, and that very well may put it into the run for that Venta track number 2 machine of Travis Gilbert. Overtime now. As we finish things off here tonight in the Monza Grand Prix. Last time these drivers were to pit road was back on lap number 71 for a handful of them, so they've got plenty of fuel to make it to the end. They've got the tires to do so as well. Man. With a second place showing with a podium finish, I think this may lock that season championship up for Wells in that Dale Earnhardt Sr. Tribute number 3 G-Ball machine, powered by a G Lightning Motorsports. Man, could you imagine with 2 weeks remaining? With 2 weeks remaining, being able to sew up the championship, man, that has got to be a good feeling. Could it be a walk-off home run race-winning performance here tonight for Wells? Could he not only win the race but secure the championship as well? Man, what a run it would be if he could do them both here tonight. We're going to find out if he's got what it takes here in just a moment as the field heads back into turn number 3 behind the base car. Lights out for the final time here tonight from Monza. Getting a little distance to the pace car this time on the restart. Scott Wise going to stack them up early in 3 and 4. We're going to go double file here for the final time here from Monza. Norwood will take that iRacing pace car back down pit road. Fields awaits the smash of the gas by that Monte Carlo inside row number 1. Wise will bring us to the green flag, and on the gas, away we go. Green flag flies. How about Andrew Moore? All over the tail end, trying to give him a push. Wells going to lose 2-3 positions here on the restart. Big trouble for Wells on the restart. Stacked up front of the field, Scott Wise going at it. We got trouble in the back. Trouble in the back. And we've got another caution here tonight. Caution flag flies. I believe that will do it. We're going to wait official word from race officials, but I believe this will indeed put an end to tonight's race here from Monza. And that will indeed put an end to the race here tonight. Scott Wise going to walk away with the top spot. Andrew Moore going to take home second, with Joe Wells coming home in third. White flag flies under caution here. White and yellow flags on display. Wise will finish it off back behind the pace car. Just got to bring it back in one piece. A little bit of an anticlimactic finish to tonight's race. Some great racing action all night long, but we watched the Monza Grand Prix end under caution to here tonight. Scott Wise will pick up the race win and put his name in the winner's column behind the wheel of these Gen 4 machines. What a job well done here tonight from Wise. So as he's going to celebrate on the front stretch in front of the Tifosi here tonight, giving these Italian race fans a show, gonna burn it down with a post-race celebration. Scott Wise will pick up the checkered flag here tonight. Job well done for the Illinois native. By the wheel of that iconic old school Lowe's paint scheme. An amazing job here tonight, and Wise will get it done. We're going to step away for a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back from Monza. Head back quickly, trackside here, live from Monza. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to see if we can dial up and have a few words with the man that finished in third here tonight behind the wheel of that iconic number 3 machine. Joe, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Mr. Dave, I got you, man. How you doing? Long time no talk.
A long time no talk, but I believe you're talking to us at what could be a pretty good time. You came into tonight's race 34 points in front of your closest competitor in the overall championship standings. You're going to finish tonight's race with a third place showing. Drift finishing outside of the top 15. You may have put yourself in a very close mathematical equation to wrapping up the championship, man. How good does that feel to do all the way across the pond here at Monza?
Oh my God, man. So I'm a big Formula One fan too, right? So Monza holds a special spot in my heart on the
And now I
road
love
side
you.
of things.
Now I love
What's
you. I'm
that?
just now I love you. I'm just saying because Monza is my track, man. I'm just saying. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it was a great race. I'm really happy with the finish. I mean, finishing P3, getting on the podium is huge, especially this late in the season. I mean, it's no secret. Drift and I've been going back and forth all season, and he's definitely been definitely giving me a run for my money. So today was a really good finish. I mean, really enjoyed the just the track overall. I think a lot of us in the league, myself included, I won't lie. I mean, I like this on a road aspect, not necessarily an oval aspect. So a lot of us were fairly reluctant when it came to this race. What was it going to bring? We didn't necessarily have the greatest outing last week and on a real super speedway, right? So yeah, it's really is a really good finish. I'm really happy just to get this number three. G Lightning Motors, Dale Earnhardt, Tony Stewart Machine, GTR, whatever you want to call it, up on the podium and in the interview booth.
Well, Joe, it's been a pleasure catching up with you week in, week out through the course of this long, long season. Just a handful of races remaining. We hope to talk to you again. We hope to see you secure the championship at the end of next week's race. It's going to be pretty close on whether or not you did it here tonight. So, for the final time, before you get to enjoy all the countryside here in Italy, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous? Maybe thank anybody back home?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dave, I want to thank you for coming out every week and sticking with us throughout this season. We really appreciate the effort that you've been putting in. Week in and week out really does go a long way for all of us. And I know I speak for a lot of us when we say we love watching the broadcasts back. So first off, I want to thank you. Shout out Scott, Lauren put on a great on a great league as well. I think we're on an upswing of things right here after the last few weeks. So I think this is a good showing. Couple other thank yous that I gotta give out. Homie Tom, if you're watching, man, I love you. We're thinking about you. Love Foxy. Prayers are with you and your family. Daryl, really wish Daryl could have been out there tonight instead of doing it for Dale. We're doing it for Daryl tonight as well. Wishing the best wishes to you and your wife, Daryl. Really big thank you to all the guys at GLM and TNT. I think today was one of the best outings that we had, working as a team and really communicating and allowing each other to have the runs and really knowing when to let up, when not to make an asshole move, when to make an asshole move. So, um, in those regards, really can't thank all the guys in GLM and TNT enough for that. Want to say huge shout out to Landon as well. I mean, it was a pleasure working with him all race as well. Not sure what happened there at the end, but really happy to work with him throughout the race as well. So feel like I'm forgetting a couple other things now. I know my friends Joe are watching. I know I got a friend Gio's watching. I think Hunter might be watching. I know my buddy Brady's watching. I know Krishan's watching. There's a bunch of guys that tune in and watch you every week, Dave, and I can't thank all of you guys enough. If I left one of you out, I'm sorry. I'm pretty riding high on this P3 right now. So, but yeah, I just want to say thank you for everything.
Well, Joe, again, always a pleasure catching up with you when we have the opportunity. Until next time, my friend, as always, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast.
Yes, sir. Doing it for Dale. Have a good one, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away third here tonight. Could Joe Wells potentially have sewed up the season championship? We're going to let the points fall where they may, and we'll bring you a little more info on that next week when we hit the track once again. But let's hit the ground running and let's keep things moving. Let's see if we can grab a word or two with the man that uh, picked up second here tonight behind the wheel of that Golf Fuels number 77 machine. Andrew, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Hey, Dave.
Well, man, racing a little different here across the pond on these high banks, these tight corners. How'd you feel about the car? How'd you feel about the night?
Overall, everything was pretty sketchy. Um, I was just playing survival for most of the night while trying to stay up near the front, and it worked out pretty well. I think got a lot of luck throughout the race. Couple of close moments. One time I did go in and do some repairs just to be sure there at the end, but overall pretty happy. I think I scored well in both stages and the end there, so pretty good night.
You mean, yeah, you had a little bit of ups and downs, but you remained um, You remained perseverant, I guess would be the word. You kept making runs at it. You kept making moves, getting yourself out to the front. How you feeling about going back to what I would like to call, quote unquote, normal super speedway racing next week?
Yeah, that would be it'd be great. I know this is the only one on the schedule, but I hear next year it's on the schedule even more, so we better get used to it.
Ooh, interesting, interesting. Well, Andrew, again, congratulations with yet another podium finish this season. An amazing job so far. We've got 2 races remaining. We hope to talk to you again. But before we let you go here tonight from Monza, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home?
Yep. Torque Wrench Motorsports, my teammates Scott, Zach, Drift, and Greg, any family that's watching, and Dave in the cave. Thanks, Dave.
Well, we thank you, and I know all your fellow competitors will thank you for the kind words as well. Andrew, until next time, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast. All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walks away with second on the podium here tonight. Andrew Moore going to pick up yet another podium finish this season. Finish the Monza Grand Prix from second, and that's going to lead us into victory lane once again behind the wheel of that iconic old school Lowe's machine. And inside of that 31, Scott, it's Dave. How you feeling in victory lane?
Um, Feeling pretty good for the most part. Had a couple bits right at the end I wasn't too proud of myself for, but it all worked out in the end.
Well, sometimes things happen, and sometimes that's just the way it is. It is restrictor plate racing, super speedway racing. Maybe not your typical super speedway racing here across the pond at Monza, my favorite track of them all. Uh, Typically the road course, not necessarily this oval, but that's a whole different ball game. But man, how does it feel? Even though you may not necessarily like the moves or quote unquote be proud of those late race moves, how proud do you got to be for the team and yourself to get the job done on essentially a jewel of a race? It's a one of a kind this season, and now, sir, you have got the checkered flag of the bragging rights.
Oh, it feels awesome, especially from the team aspect. We got 3 out of the top 5 were torque wrench drivers. Ball head laps. We all had a good run. I kind of got lucky in the mid race with a couple of cautions going my way, but as far as the moves I made, the only one I'm really mad about is the one that took out Al with about 6 or 7 to go. I just had a massive checkup in front of me I couldn't avoid, and I feel bad for him because he ran a good race. But yeah, I love it. Good to get my second RCR paint scheme into victory lane for the year. Rolling good there.
Well, I think you may have to throw another RCR paint scheme on these next 2 weeks. It may be the key to victory.
Oh, well, I've already got one mapped out for next week at Atlanta, bringing up the old Robbie Gordon singular car. So keeping the old school rolling.
Well, we'll see how you go at Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. But before we let you go here tonight, Scott, would you like to give any final shout outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home?
Uh, Got to thank my wife and lead co-owner for letting me do this and putting up with my craziness for doing this. Got to thank my team all the way around. They're an amazing group of guys. Got to thank you for doing the broadcast. All the drivers that have stuck it out this season. It's amazing that we maintained our 22 car average throughout the entire season. Something I'm super proud of, and make me look more forward to season 2.
Well, man, we look forward to the final 2 weeks of this season. We'll look forward to season number 2 when we cross those paths and that road a little bit further on down the line. But for the moment, enjoy this one. Enjoy the sights. all around this beautiful country over here. Not just enjoying the racetrack here in Monza, but there's tons of things to do and see here in Italy. So we hope you enjoy the little mini vacation and stay you got here. Enjoy the next few days. But until next time, my friends, stay safe and, of course, keep it fast.
Will do, man. Have a good evening.
All right, there you go. Final few words from Victory Lane. Scott Wise picks up the jewel of the season. The one-off race right here from the Autodromo Nacional Monza. It's the Monza Grand Prix, and Scott Wise walks away with the victory, checkered flag in hand. Man, oh man, what a night, what a race here from Monza. Amazing, amazing night. And producers already hitting those buttons in the background, ready to roll up the cords and cut off the lights. But first, let's run down your unofficial race results here tonight for the Monza Grand Prix for the Masters of the Draft. Brought to you by the National Association of Stock Car Virtual Racing. Scott Wise gonna park that 31 Lowe's machine in Victory Lane with the 77 of Andrew Moore coming home in second. Joe Wells back in third. Sam Taylor gonna push that 88 home to a fourth place finish, and rounding out your top five here tonight behind the wheel of his 74 machine, Zach Lanen. Dylan Picklesheimer going to slide home 6 with Landon Lacey in 7th. 8th place tonight belongs to Greg Thompson. Gregory Thurlow back in 9th. Al Likens finishing out your top 10. Travis Gilbert 11th. Richard Smith, James Hudson, Darren Mack, Sean Bounty rounding out your top 15. William Britton, Jacob Drift, Dakota Bailey, Randy Lunsquid, and Brandon Browning finish out your 20-car field here tonight from Monza. What a race. What a night. Grazie, grazie, grazie. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. Show these drivers the love. Drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. From myself, David the Cave, and everybody else back at the headquarters. Stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.